Hello and welcome to Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle Calloway. Tech with Heart, it's all about empowering entrepreneurs to embrace different technologies, systems, and strategies to stay competitive and relevant in today's rapidly changing digital business landscape. And today's topic is lead generation on LinkedIn. And with me, I have a very special guest who focuses a lot on different social medias and how to attract different target audiences. And we're going to specifically talk about LinkedIn today. And his name is Buddy Hodges. So welcome to the Tech with Heart stage, Buddy.
Glad to be here. Looking forward to it. Yes.
I know you've helped a lot of small business owners figure out how to get more leads coming in from many different social media platforms. So what are some tips right away that you can just maybe mention, and then we'll maybe dig deeper into those, but what are some tips on using LinkedIn, which is a very powerful engine for businesses, very, very powerful. What are some tips that you've seen really work organically, not paid search or anything like that, but organically to attract more leads on LinkedIn? What are some things?
Well, first of all, I want to say that leads are only a step in the process, and it's important to build an authentic relationship with those people. So I always go beyond leads to relationship building. But another tip to start with is start with why. Understand why you're on LinkedIn. What are you trying to accomplish? What is your purpose? And then what problem do you solve? What is your brand? What do you want to be known for? Most people, the average person, just puts their resume on LinkedIn, and it's kind of like all over the place. It's whatever they happen to have done in their lifetime. But I think it should be focused on your purpose. You catch the fish that your hook is baited for, and you want to be known for something in particular. You want to narrow your niche. So that's one thing. Be a specialist. Specialists always get paid more than generalists. And you're more attractive to someone who thinks that you're the specializing in what they're looking for. It won't be everybody, but then there's almost 900 million people on LinkedIn, and 3 more every second, 24 hours a day, 3 new members every second. So there's plenty of people, so that there will be enough for your niche, no matter how small it is. And the more you specialize, the more you'll be attractive to the right people. But understand why you're here and whom you're serving and what problem you solve for them.
And whom you're hoping to attract. Kind of sounds like you need to know whom you're hoping to attract on that particular platform.
Exactly. Right.
I love that you mentioned something about the bait on the hook for the fish. Right? You need to know who you're hoping to attract so that you can modify and optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract said people. And so maybe you can talk to us a little bit about what does that entail? I know that LinkedIn can serve the purpose of helping you find work. So that would be a good type of like resume, right? To do a more resume type portfolio, but most people aren't using LinkedIn to find a job. So speak to us about like a business owner, small business owner using LinkedIn. What can they do to their profile to say attract, maybe they're looking to attract women over the age of 45 that would like to lose weight?
Well, they can feature articles or posts on their profile that address those topics, that speak to those prospects. Your profile doesn't have to be just your former jobs. It can be including your current posts, and you can pin those posts to the top of your profile, especially if you turn on creator mode. Your featured section shows up first above your about section. Usually about sections are kind of boring, but featured sections can be multimedia. They can be videos, they can be pictures and carousels and so forth. So I would say bait your hook on your featured section. That's where you stand out as, you know, something different, your brand. But I also would say that most people spend too much time tweaking their profile to look good to themselves and their mother, but nobody sees it. They don't realize how few people actually are shown your profile. You might be found in searches for keywords, but if you are, then of course you'll be found along with other people who use the same keyword, and they may be your competitors, and maybe they outshine you. But I encourage people to be proactive and reach out and go after the people that you're looking for. Know who you're trying to find, and then find them, and then engage with them. So we can talk more about that later in this interview, but I think if you have a billboard that is very attractive in the middle of a forest, it's not going to do you much good. You need to have a good billboard, but you need it at a busy intersection. You know, and a busy intersection is one where there's a lot of engagement and there's people notice you. One of the things I write about is how to become noticed, how to become known, liked, trusted, and remembered. You know that people do business with people they know, like, and trust if they remember them.
Right.
But,
so I hear what you're saying. So there's one level of lead attraction, and that could be how you position your profile and what it looks like and what you feature. So, and also using keywords. So that's one piece of it. And then you're also speaking now about what other methods could you use on the LinkedIn platform to further attract clients to you, or potential clients, because of perhaps the type of content that you're sharing regularly. That's what I'm hearing. And then there's a third aspect to it, which could be how to go after those who you believe would be a good fit. So that's different types of lead gen. Let's move into the content real quick, because I like where you're going here. So what are some things that business owners can do to elevate their visibility on LinkedIn?
well, my favorite one is commenting. That is really the most powerful, highest return on investment of the time you spend on LinkedIn. You need to have a good profile, and you need a lot of other things, but if you want to be noticed, comment on the posts of influencers in your niche. Now, you don't need to just wait and randomly comment on whoever comes along on your homepage, on your news feed. You should look at your news feed and comment on some of those posts, but you also look at the notifications tab and see people that you might want to comment on. But then you can search, do advanced searches for specific people that meet your criteria. So then find out, and by the way, I recommend looking for people who have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. And if you use Sales Navigator, there's a filter. You can filter for people who have posted in the last 30 days. If you don't have the paid version, you can just do a keyword search and click on posts. Click on the posts tab, and it will bring up the most recent posts for that keyword. And that will show you people who have posted. Why do you want people who posted? So you can comment. Because when you comment, several things happen. The person who authored the post likes you. and trusts you a little bit because you've shown an interest in them, and people like to be interested and they like attention and recognition. And secondly, even more importantly, if they have a large following, their followers will see your comment. And if you have a meaningful comment, it establishes your credibility and your brand. And even if, aside from what you say in the comment, above your comment, it shows your name, which is a clickable hyperlink to your profile. It shows your first sentence of your headline. So it's very important on your profile to think about the first 7 words in your headline, because they will show up at the top of every comment you make.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you could use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revealio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revealio.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
I was just going to say, I just wanted to interject that I think that that is absolutely one of the brilliant, a very brilliant lead generation tip, because there's multiple things happening besides like the ease of like visibility of clickability back to your profile, et cetera, et cetera. This process of you commenting valuable comments, not just, oh, this is awesome, exclamation point, right? But like maybe sharing a little of your insights on what was shared in the article or whatever the post, because that in a non-braggy, non-marketing way, you're marketing your expertise in that area. And so it's brilliant because it also starts building that know, like, and trust factor that you just spoke about. And so I'm applauding this tactic. It's very, very smart.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Yes, right. You can become known, liked, trusted, and remembered all in one fell swoop by the followers of an influencer. For example, let's say you comment on Simon Sinek's post. Simon may not actually see it. He probably has a staff, but he has 6 million followers, and probably 1 million of them will see his post. And out of that million who see his post, probably 500,000 will read your comment. I'm just guessing at the numbers, but you get the idea.
You know what? And also this is an applicable tactic that you can take across different platforms. If you're finding that your business doesn't necessarily, LinkedIn isn't your jam, maybe Facebook or Instagram or even Twitter or like TikTok, right? TikTok influencers are growing on TikTok like crazy. Mm-hmm. It's the same tactic. It's the same concept. It's called social media engagement. It's not just marketing and blasting. It's like now, speaking as a human to other humans and not being robotic at all, because there's a lot of Autobots out there that are also commenting on your posts or other people's posts that say, this is great, share it on such and such. And that's all it is. There's just absolutely no value there. But I love the idea that you're able to share thoughts. I know for the sake of time, let's move into that. That was a great tip. Solid, rock solid. Let's move now into the going after those. Is this also part of that tactic as far as going after those who you believe would be great connections and great potential leads or potential partners?
Well, after you find the people, which may be involving searches or being subscribed to people's lists and so forth. But after you find them, then engage in conversations and follow up. Go beyond the first message. Respond to their message. And at the end of your message, try to always add an open-ended question. because that elicits the next message. It brings about the response. People like to give their opinion. They like to tell you what they think. And if we listen, and the way you listen online is to respond and let them know that you read what they said. But responding, if you end your response with a question, ask them to speak some more. Tell me more about that. And or that's very interesting. What did you think about this? Don't say something that can be answered yes or no.
That's a good point. I know also there's a lot of bots out there. And so a lot of us are getting inundated with these connection requests that feel very much like the only reason that they want to connect with us is because they want to get something from us. And I know that that's a widespread issue on a lot of social media. Like there's just not a lot of trust out the gate. So any tips on when you do decide to reach out? I love the open-ended question thing. But like, how can we quickly start building trust?
Well, this does go back to your profile, actually. Even though I mentioned that it's important to get people to see your profile, when they do see your profile, there's many parts that make LinkedIn special compared to other social networks. You can have recommendations at the bottom. You can have endorsements for your skills. You can have your volunteer work showcased. You can tell what you do, and that implies your character. People infer what kind of a person you are by what charities you volunteered for, or what, you know, I was active with Kiwanis and Toastmasters. People can understand who you are and what you care about based on what you have done besides your job. And then, of course, your about section, it should be a personal story of your hero's journey that talks about your character and your ethics and what you believe in.
So that validates that, you are like a genuinely good person, et cetera, and you have some credibility, blah, blah, blah. So now let's move into like the messaging. Like, how would you approach that initial messaging in a way that seems non-threatening? Maybe just like I'm a colleague, a potential colleague, or I would love to connect with you to see if there's any value there, kind of thing. Like, what are some thoughts on that?
The main thing is it's about them. It's not about me. So if you start your message with a reference to their profile or to their post, say, I like what you said about your purpose. I like what you said about your core values. I like, you and I share an interest in say John Maxwell or or Dale Carnegie. I liked your post about this or that. Talk about them and what you saw in their content, whether it's their post or their profile or their comments. Say, thank you for your comment on my post, or I saw your post on Simon Sinek's profile. So that was really a cool comment. Kudos to you.
You could actually ask questions in those, right? Like, hey, I saw your comment. Man, that was excellent. What are your thoughts on blah, blah, blah? And see if that opens up more dialogue, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes.
This is fun. This is fun stuff. I'm so glad we're talking about these ideas. Is there any other tips that you would like to mention before we move into how people can reach out to you to like develop maybe a strategy plan for this type of outreach or lead generation?
Well, think of it as, you mentioned that this is fun. If people can learn to build relationships on LinkedIn, they can enjoy the process. It doesn't have to be a chore. I enjoy being on LinkedIn because I'm making friends for a living. And I'm meeting new people. It's like treasure hunting. It's exciting to meet a new person, to find them either in a search or some other way, and then comment and start a conversation with a new person. So learn to lean into it and enjoy, and that will come through. They'll pick up that you like meeting them.
And Buddy, I know a lot of small business owners are overwhelmed with just too many things to do, but this is one of those things where it's hard for you to necessarily have an assistant do it exclusively. I know you can have some help in just like identifying whom to reach out to, or you can potentially ask them to help you with some messaging to get the ball rolling, but ultimately quickly it should move into you having that conversation with that person rather than your assistant. So how much time a day would be an effective strategy to implement into just targeting potential leads or posting quality content and then going in and having engagement through the chat section on LinkedIn a day? How much time do you recommend?
Well, that varies a lot depending on how much you want to make LinkedIn your main source of leads. If you have other, if you're doing advertising or you have salespeople or whatever, that's different. But for the solopreneur or the independent professional expert, I think it's worth putting an hour a day into it at least, and I do much more than that, and I enjoy it, and it pays off. But as I mentioned, engagement is the highest return on investment of your time. So put your time in on commenting and having conversations.
Yes, I love that. And that's what Tech with Heart's all about. It's finding ways to use technology for efficiencies, but also making sure that we keep that human connection as the number one priority in how we're using that technology. So this is a very good fit for our audience today, and I want to thank you for being here. So Buddy, there's probably somebody that's listening to this right now that would love to just chat with you about setting up a strategy for themselves, perhaps. And how can they reach you?
Well, of course, they can go to LinkedIn and look for Buddy Hodges. I'm right there with my name, Buddy Hodges. But if they want to schedule a meeting with me, they can go to calendly.com/buddy. Just simple, Calendly. If most people are familiar with Calendly these days, calendly.com/buddy.
Perfect. And then what is a phrase, quote, or thought that you would like to leave impressioned upon people's minds as they leave this interview today?
Engage.
Okay, you heard it from from the influencer's mouth right there. Buddy's been doing this with business owners for years and years, and so take those words. Be more engaging on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a social media platform. Take the automation out of it to a degree and spend time being a real human there, connecting with real humans there. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And if you are an influencer or a subject matter expert and you have valuable insights to help small business owners or solopreneurs be relevant and competitive in today's business landscape that's rapidly changing with the adoptions of new AI and all that, please reach out to techwithheartnetwork.com. We'd love to interview you and share your insights with our audience of small businesses. And if you are a small business owner, but you're also a very heart-centered person and want to gravitate towards embracing technology more in your business, this community is a great place for you to gain insights and to build those relationships with other entrepreneurs who are also looking to embrace technology, but not forsake the need to connect with human beings. So please go to techwithheartnetwork.com and join our community. You can join for free, or you can upgrade to be a gold member and be listed as an influencer within our community and gain even more visibility. So we thank you so much for tuning in today. Here's to your success.
Your story needs to be seen and heard, and your brand needs to be revealed. Revealio elevates purpose-driven businesses into the spotlight through video storytelling, augmented reality video marketing, and professional website design. Get discovered online or in the news. Be featured in national magazines or host your own TV, podcast, or live radio show. Together, we make your brand come alive. All it takes is Revealio. Visit Revealio.com to get started today. Minority and service disabled veteran owned.